study is looking at stacked regenerative practices. And so that means not just implementing one practice, but you're starting to implement multiple practices kind of stacked together. And so what we did is we took orchards and we tried to find similar orchards close in proximity with similar soil types. And we tried to find 3 orchards with different levels of stacked practices. The first one maybe being industry standard, what any normal orchard in that area would look like. Then we tried to find this intermediate level where you're starting to see some cover crops or resident vegetation and maybe some organic amendments. And then we tried to find a regenerative orchard that has trunk-to-trunk vegetation, diverse organic amendments, and maybe even bringing in grazers or some sort of diversification. And basically, we went out to these orchards over 2 seasons, and we tried to sample a whole bunch of different things. It's a very collaborative project. And so we've got a lab at UC Merced with Rebecca Ryals looking at the soils. Neal Williams' lab at UC Davis is looking at the insects and the pollinators. Satdarshan Khalsa is looking at the tree growth and nutrition. And then our lab, Amélie Gaudin's lab at UC Davis, was looking at the water soil dynamics. And then I'm also going to be doing a multifunctionality analysis that kind of takes all of these different ecosystem functions and puts them together into one analysis.
So very involved. And you said these farms are in close proximity to each other?
So each group of 3 is, but in total we have 30 orchards that range up from Chico down to Merced.
Okay, so it's an extensive length of distance there. What advice would you give to growers who are maybe trying to start stacking some of these methods? Like you said, there are 3 methods, the most basic method, the intermediate method, and then the more regenerative ecosystem method.
I would say if there's something that strikes your fancy or it sounds interesting is to try it, but maybe try it on a small scale if you can. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be all or nothing. I think if you try something on a small scale, you can kind of see how it works, learn how it fits in your system, and then kind of ramp up from there and get some good learnings on the way.
And why would a grower want to start implementing some of these practices?
So the research shows lots of benefits, especially as you start implementing multiple practices together. And there's all sorts of benefits. It could be soil benefits, so better soil structure, less compaction. We're seeing cover crops can actually reduce navel orangeworm egg deposition and spring emergence. Water infiltration is a huge one. We're seeing much faster water infiltration.